Stop what you are doing and listen. Truly listen, because the next few minutes will determine whether you spend the rest of your life as a drifter or as a king. You are tired in a way that sleep does not fix. You work hard. You read the books. You say yes to every good opportunity that crosses your path. You hustle while the rest of the world sleeps. And yet, the breakthrough never arrives. It feels as though you are driving with the emergency brake pulled tight. I am here to tell you a truth that most men will never accept. This is not a lack of effort. You do not have a motivation problem. You have a programming problem. Deep within the architecture of your subconscious mind, there is an outdated script running on a loop. It quietly sabotages every conscious step you take. Society has lied to you. It taught you that success is about doing more. It told you to grab every chance. It told you to be grateful for every good thing. So you fill your days with endless tasks. You scatter your energy across a dozen different projects. You try to please everyone and seize every minor advantage. But let me ask you a dangerous question. Look at your life right now. Has saying yes to all these good things made you truly wealthy? Or has it just made you exhausted? The truth is that good is the ultimate enemy of great. The world is full of men who are drowning in good opportunities while starving for true power. They are buried under a mountain of trivial obligations, and they wonder why they never reach the summit of their own potential. Before we dive deeper into this invisible trap, I want to plant a seed in your mind. There is something hidden from the public, something discovered not in a motivational book but inside a classified laboratory. It is a biological secret funded by elite billionaires and verified by top-tier neuroscience. It finally explains the frustrating gap between your vision and your reality. I will reveal exactly what this is before we finish today. But first you must understand why the financial deck was stacked against you from birth. Hold this question. What if your struggle to focus and attract abundance is not a lack of hustle, but a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? You are about to discover that your exhaustion is not your fault. Let us return to your tired mind. There are two kinds of men in this world, the drifter and the sovereign commander. The drifter operates on reaction. He allows his environment to dictate his focus. When a shiny new idea appears, he chases it. When a friend asks for a favor, he drops his own mission. He believes that being busy is the exact same thing as being productive. He is terrified of missing out. He is terrified of offending people. And because he cannot say no, his life force is drained by 1,000 tiny cuts. He builds nothing of lasting value because his foundation is constantly shifting. You have played this role for far too long. You must understand the architecture of your own mind. Your subconscious is a tireless contractor. It builds exactly what you instruct it to build, but it requires absolute clarity. It requires a single focused blueprint. When you say yes to a dozen different good things, you hand this contractor a stack of conflicting blueprints. Your mind becomes chaotic. It tries to build a mansion, a shack, a bridge, and a wall, all at the same time. The result is total structural collapse. Your energy scatters, your focus shatters, and the universe simply stops responding to you. This is why you feel stuck. This chaos is not just psychological. It is deeply biological. Your brain is not designed to handle the modern flood of endless options. Every time you say yes to something outside your ultimate purpose, you trigger a microscopic stress response in your body. You are forcing your nervous system into a state of perpetual survival. In this state, your brain shuts down its natural ability to attract wealth. It powers down the frequency of abundance to conserve energy for the 1,000 useless tasks you have accepted. You are literally rewiring your own brain for poverty every time you agree to a distraction. This is the invisible enemy. Focus is not about intense concentration. Focus is a ruthless act of elimination. It is the cold courage to look at a genuinely good opportunity and say no. It is the willingness to let people down. It is the strength to walk away from quick cash in order to build generational wealth. The 1% understand this law. They do not do more things than you. They do significantly fewer things. But they do them with terrifying intensity. They are the mental gatekeepers of their own reality. They protect their attention like a king protects his throne room. Nothing enters without their explicit permission. You cannot claim your throne while you are busy running errands for the masses. You must implement the law of cosmic housekeeping. This means cutting the fat from your existence. It means looking at your daily habits and burning the ones that do not serve your definite purpose. It is going to hurt. People will call you selfish. They will say you have changed. They will try to pull you back into the comfortable mediocrity of being a drifter. But you must hold the line. The universe tests your resolve by offering you good things to see if you will settle. You did not find this message by accident. You were drawn here because the Creator inside you is suffocating under the weight of too many obligations. You are carrying luggage that does not belong to you. It is time to drop the bags. It is time to reclaim your sovereign power. Every time you decline a distraction, you send a shock wave of power to your subconscious. You establish order. To become the laser, you must understand the blockage. You must confront the biological disadvantage you inherited. The elite do not want you to know this. They profit from your endless hustle and your scattered attention. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal exactly how they keep your mind trapped in this cycle of exhaustion. I will show you how to take your mind back. Let us make this plain. There is a fundamental law governing your reality today. It is the law of mental dominion. The drifter believes that wealth is a matter of relentless physical action. He truly thinks that if he just moves faster, he will eventually outrun his own poverty. He says yes to every minor task. He gives his attention to every ringing phone. But movement does not equal momentum. The Creator understands a terrifying truth about this world. Your attention is the literal currency of the universe. Every time you say yes to something average, you are paying for it with a piece of your destiny. You are funding your own mediocrity. The difference between the 1% and the masses is not intelligence. It is the ruthless application of a single powerful word. You must say no. Here is the brutal truth the elite do not want you to know. The reason the universe responds to the wealthy and leaves you struggling is entirely biological. Deep inside your brain is a tiny region called the hippocampus. In the insanely wealthy, this region is thick and highly developed. It is constantly broadcasting a microscopic frequency that literally pulls money and luck toward them like a vacuum. For the average person, the reality is much darker. Because you were not born into massive wealth, you inherited a biological disadvantage. Science calls it a shrunken hippocampus. Instead of broadcasting a wealth frequency, your brain is trapped broadcasting a survival wave. And the modern world is completely designed to keep it exactly that way. Every unpaid bill shrinks this vital region a little more. Every time you stress over money, your natural ability to attract abundance is pushed deeper into dormancy. This is why you can read every self-help book with absolutely zero results. You are trying to manifest wealth while your internal receiver is completely powered down. You end up chasing money endlessly. Meanwhile, the elite simply let it flow to them without any desperate physical struggle. It is a biological block passed down from generation to generation. It quietly sabotages your highest potential while you blame yourself for not working hard enough. Most men will go to their graves believing they just lack discipline. You are not most men. And remember the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago, the one about a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on. You are about to see that the answer is scientifically proven, but you must first see how your daily choices feed this disease. When you say yes to good things, you trigger the survival wave. You convince your brain that everything is an urgent threat. The drifter lives in a constant state of mild panic. His hippocampus shrivels under the heavy weight of his endless daily obligations. The sovereign commander refuses to live this way. He knows that his true power lies in his ability to ignore the trivial. He starves the survival wave by entirely removing the noise. He looks at a good business idea and discards it because it distracts from his great vision. This is the cold calmness of the builder. He is not swayed by the panic of the masses, he protects his mental architecture. Do you realize what happens when you spread your energy too thin? You become a massive magnet for chaos. Your subconscious is a tireless contractor. When you give it 50 different goals, it achieves absolutely none of them. It defaults to the strongest emotional signal. And for the exhausted earner, that signal is always a deep sense of fear. Your brain manifests that exact failure into reality. You must stop playing the victim to your own ambition today. Ambition without focus is just anxiety dressed in a suit. You must take the scalpel to your entire life. Cut away the good friends who pull you back. Cut away the good habits that consume your time without multiplying your power. If something is not pushing you toward your ultimate empire, it is pulling you away from it. There is absolutely no neutral ground in this war. This is not a philosophy, that is law. Like gravity, you cannot outwork a misprogrammed mind. You cannot hustle your way past a shrunken piece of anatomy. The elite know this well. They fund powerful lawyers to keep this knowledge away from the middle class. They want you busy. They want you distracted by political theater and cheap entertainment. A distracted man is an easily controlled man. But you are the architect of your destiny. You must begin treating your attention as sacred ground. Every time you say no, you take a brick out of the prison wall. You reclaim a piece of your biological power. You signal to the universe that you are finally ready to receive. The masses will call you arrogant. Let them speak their empty words. Their opinions do not pay your bills or build your legacy. You are building an empire in the invisible season. You do not need their approval. You only need your own absolute certainty. But I know your logical mind is fighting this. You want proof. You want to see how the greatest titans of history applied this exact ruthlessness. You want to know how they forced the world to bend to their will. Listen to me carefully. History always leaves clues. The men who built the modern world did not do it by saying yes. They did it by building massive walls around their minds. They understood the frequency of power long before modern neuroscience could scan the brain. The survival wave has kept you safe, but safety is the ultimate enemy of greatness. The universe does not reward the safe man at all. It rewards the bold commander who dictates his own terms. You are one mental shift away from breaking the family curse, but that shift requires you to stop negotiating with mediocrity. You must become a ruthless gatekeeper today. You must stand guard at the door of your own mind. Let us look to the titans. Let us examine the terrifying discipline of the 1%. Their secret is your weapon. You think you are losing your mind because you no longer relate to your old friends. You feel a strange, heavy guilt when you decline their Friday night invitations. Society constantly tells you that true friends always say yes. It demands that you compromise your time to prove your loyalty. But here is the brutal truth no one tells you about success. You are not losing your mind, you are losing your programming. This growing isolation is not a punishment. It is a necessary biological purification. The drifter feels immense guilt when he protects his time. He apologizes for wanting greatness. He explains himself to people who will never understand his vision. The Creator feels absolutely no remorse. He understands a profound cosmic law. Saying no to average people is the only way to say yes to his ultimate destiny. Do you feel this shift happening inside you today? That uncomfortable friction is the beautiful sound of your own evolution. You are becoming undeniably powerful. The universe tests you by sending good people with good intentions to waste your time. If you entertain them, you fail the test. Let us look to the example of Andrew Carnegie. How did a man with no formal education build the largest steel empire in history? It was not luck. It was not a hidden advantage. He used a specific mental protocol that you can replicate tonight. Carnegie was a ruthless, sovereign commander of his own attention. He simply did not entertain trivial conversations. He did not accept merely good opportunities. He understood that his mind was a sacred fortress. He eliminated every distraction with cold, calculating precision. When a good idea threatened to derail his great vision, He destroyed the good idea immediately. This is exactly how you manipulate reality. You do not force the world to give you what you want. You simply remove everything that contradicts your definite chief aim. The space you create is instantly filled with massive wealth. Thomas Edison operated on the exact same law of elimination. He spent days locked in his laboratory away from the pointless noise of the masses. He refused to let the survival wave of the common man disrupt his frequency. He knew that attending a mediocre social event would cost him a brilliant scientific revelation. These titans did not work harder than the men in their factories. They worked on a completely different biological frequency. They were walking magnetic forces of abundance. They mastered the courage to say no, and their brains rewarded them by remaining locked in the frequency of power. But before we go any further, I have to share a breakthrough that changes everything. Something the elite billionaires have spent vast fortunes to keep hidden from the public. They know that your exhaustion is highly profitable for them. A rogue neuroscientist, formerly working on classified CIA experiments, recently leaked a shocking discovery. He found the missing key. He and a team of top-tier researchers found a way to wake up that dormant wealth frequency. They discovered how to rapidly reverse the effects of a shrunken hippocampus. And they did not do it through decades of exhausting meditation. They did not require relentless journaling or waking up at 4 in the morning. They discovered something infinitely simpler and far more powerful. It is a precise and perfectly engineered 7-minute sound frequency. It demands absolutely no hard labor. When listened to, this specific acoustic wave bypasses your conscious mind entirely. It directly stimulates that tiny ancient region of your brain responsible for abundance. 4 independent neuroscience labs have already verified this exact protocol. Researchers on the campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing this brainwave activation right now. They found that once this frequency is heard, it forces your brain to stop broadcasting the survival wave. It breaks the biological chains. It immediately flips the switch on your natural biological ability to attract wealth. It is a completely effortless, at-home ritual. Just 7 minutes a day, and the energetic shift begins the very first time you listen. I will tell you exactly what this is called before this message ends, and I will show you exactly how you can access this frequency for yourself. But first, there is one final piece of the puzzle you must understand. You must prepare your mind to handle sudden success. You cannot pour new power into a broken vessel. Even with this advanced neurotechnology doing the heavy lifting, you must still become the mental gatekeeper of your reality. You must continue to reject the good things that block the great things. The frequency accelerates your manifestation effortlessly, but your daily choices steer the massive ship. Every time you say no to a distraction, you align your physical actions perfectly with this new abundance. You become completely unstoppable. This is where modern neuroscience meets timeless spiritual law. Your thoughts are the seeds, your biological frequency is the soil, and your reality is the inevitable harvest. If you plant the seeds of compromise, you will reap a life of quiet desperation. The universe will give you exactly what you tolerate. But if you plant the uncompromising demands of a king, the universe has absolutely no choice but to obey. You do not ask for riches anymore. You command them into existence. The drifter ignores this truth and goes back to sleep. He returns to his crowded life of saying yes to everybody. The architect of destiny hears this and immediately alters his behavior. You now know the hidden mechanism driving the titans. You know that a verified biological solution exists to repair your broken receiver. But protecting your energy from vampires is only step 1. Now you must learn how to actively multiply that energy in the dark. The preparation phase is over. How do you clear the mental debris left behind by years of people-pleasing? How do you prepare your subconscious to receive this massive financial shift tonight? Stop just listening passively. I command you to engage your mind right now. We are moving from theory into absolute execution. It is time to learn the exact physical steps required to cleanse your mental temple. It is time to learn the sacred ritual of cosmic housekeeping. Do exactly as I say. What is cosmic housekeeping? It is the ruthless elimination of anything that does not serve your ultimate empire. The drifter holds on to toxic relationships out of a false sense of loyalty. The Creator cuts them without hesitation because he knows his destiny is at stake. You must take a brutally honest look at your inner circle today. Are these people actively pushing you toward greatness, or are they quietly draining your life force with their endless complaints? If a relationship is just okay, it is a literal poison to your potential, and you must sever the tie immediately before it drags you down. Weak men will call you cold and arrogant. Let them talk. Your mind is a sacred temple, not a public dumping ground for their anxiety and failure. Stop apologizing for demanding excellence from your environment. You are the sovereign commander of your reality. Therefore, I command you to perform a massive purge of your social life tonight. This purge extends far beyond just people. Look at the media you consume every single day. You scroll through endless feeds of outrage and political theater, allowing strangers on the internet to dictate your emotional state. This is exactly how the elite keep the masses paralyzed. They feed you a constant diet of fear, so your brain remains locked in the survival wave. You must delete these distractions and guard your attention with absolute violence. You cannot serve two masters and expect to win. You cannot have 5 different backup plans just in case things go wrong. The universe does not reward the hesitant man who keeps his options open, but it heavily rewards the builder who burns his boats. What is your definite chief aim? You must choose exactly one supreme goal today. Write it down right now. I mean, physically, write it on a piece of paper. Say your chief aim aloud until your body actually vibrates with the truth of it. Look at that single massive goal on the paper. Now look at every other minor ambition currently cluttering your schedule. You must slaughter those lesser goals today because they are the exact reason you wake up exhausted and confused every single morning. A laser cuts through solid steel because its light is focused entirely on one microscopic point. You are currently acting like a cheap flashlight trying to melt a massive glacier. Your energy is scattered in a million different directions, and you wonder why you feel so incredibly tired while making zero progress. Gather your light. Pull back your energy from all the good things you said yes to. Consolidate your power. Point it directly at your definite chief aim and refuse to blink. This is the secret to moving mountains. Now we must address the most dangerous hours of your entire day, the 15 minutes right before you fall asleep. This is the critical window when your subconscious mind opens its doors to receive new instructions. What do you usually feed it during this time? Do you doom scroll through toxic news? Do you lay in the dark and stress over your unpaid bills? Or do you replay old, embarrassing arguments in your head? If you do these things, you are literally programming your own brain for poverty while you sleep. Your subconscious is a tireless contractor. It takes the emotions you feel right before sleep and uses them as blueprints to construct your tomorrow. You are handing the contractor blueprints of fear and scarcity. This devastating self-sabotage ends tonight, and you must implement the sacred night ritual without fail. Turn off every digital screen exactly 1 hour before you get into bed. Sit in absolute silence for 15 dedicated minutes. Do not meditate on your current financial problems. Do not try to figure out exactly how the money will finally come. Your only job is to visualize the completed manifestation of your definite chief aim, feeling the massive relief and pride of having already won the battle. Give your subconscious its new monumental work. Say this aloud before you close your eyes tonight. I am the master of my fate. I am the architect of my success. Let the heavy vibration of these words permanently rewire your mind. Do not just whisper it like a coward hoping for a miracle. but say it with the absolute, unshakable authority of a king issuing a decree to his vast kingdom. You must learn to act as if the wealth is already sitting securely in your bank account. The drifter begs the universe for a lucky break. The Creator commands reality to bend to his will. You must walk through your day tomorrow with an aura of cold calmness. When a setback occurs, you do not panic. You treat that failure purely as neutral data, because the 1% never react emotionally to a temporary defeat. They analyze the setback, and they immediately adjust their strategy. You must carry yourself with this exact invincible posture every single day. Even if your pockets are completely empty today, your internal spirit must remain profoundly wealthy. There are absolutely no excuses left for you to use. The universe operates by strict, immutable law, and you now know the exact rules of the game because you possess the blueprint. If you wake up tomorrow and return to your chaotic, people-pleasing habits, you have consciously chosen to remain a victim. It is no longer society holding you back. It is your own cowardly refusal to enforce mental discipline. Are you truly willing to kill the weak and exhausted version of yourself today? You cannot bring him into your new powerful empire, so he must die in order for the king to finally breathe. You now know the precise mechanism to clear your mental debris. You know exactly how to protect your vital energy through cosmic housekeeping. The ritual is entirely in your hands right now. The drifter will hear this lesson, feel inspired for 10 fleeting minutes, and do absolutely nothing, while the master will use it tonight to permanently alter his frequency. Which one are you? We are approaching the final threshold of this message. The time for drifting is officially over. You have heard the law. You now know that every excuse you have ever made was nothing but a shadow. And tonight, as you close your eyes, you must finally choose whether you will return to the chaos of the masses or step into the quiet power of the 1%. You are one decision away from monumental momentum. You are one belief away from absolute clarity. This shift will not happen unless you make it happen. I invite you to make a decision right now. You must look fear in the face and say, "Not today." You must look at the good things in your life and demand the great things instead. Break free, once and for all, from the shackles of negative thinking, because your mind is the ultimate gateway to your new empire. Your thoughts are the key. Never again let a negative thought decide your future. The question I asked you to hold earlier is finally ready to be answered. What if your financial struggle is just a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? A microscopic wealth attraction frequency is naturally active in the 1%, and it is driven by a highly developed hippocampus. Classified CIA research confirmed it. Independent labs verified it. Researchers at Harvard are observing it now. Dr. Thomas Summers refused to let elite billionaires keep this biological cheat code hidden. He and his team spent years compressing the clinical protocol into a simple audio track. But before I tell you what they built, you must hear about two people who actually used it. Emma was a former nurse from California. She felt her family was under a severe financial curse, and she was completely exhausted from drowning in heavy debt. After just 3 days of listening, she broke the cycle completely. She quit her job and sold her house for way over the asking price. Michael was a former policeman in Florida. He started using it to scale his struggling business. Within 5 days, he quadrupled his high-paying clients, and he found himself networking with wealthy elites who quickly put him on television. He said the journey was almost effortlessly crazy. That is exactly because of what Dr. Summers and his researchers discovered in that laboratory. They call it the billionaire brainwave. It is the definitive answer to your deep financial exhaustion. It is not a generic manifestation app. It is not a cheap motivation tape. It is a highly engineered 7-minute binaural sound wave. It is designed to directly stimulate your hippocampus and pull it out of deep dormancy. That is the entirety of the work required from you. 7 minutes in the morning with your headphones on while you sip your coffee. You do not journal, and you do not repeat forced affirmations because you simply let the precise frequency rewire your brain to receive. The billionaire brainwave is not for everyone. It is for the visionary who has done the inner work. It is for the architect of destiny who understands that their lack of wealth is just a blocked biological channel. If your spirit confirms this is for you, then your path is completely clear. Private clinical sessions to reverse a shrunken hippocampus cost hundreds of dollars an hour. Elite billionaires invest massive fortunes for this. But this leak protocol delivers the exact same neurological shift for a tiny fraction of its true value. It costs less than a few cups of coffee to claim your biological inheritance today, and 4 powerful bonuses are included to support your new reality. You receive the Warren Buffett pyramid to manage your massive wealth. You get 7 lazy millionaire habits to sustain your empire without the endless hustle. You receive the quick cash manifestation audio for unexpected emergencies, and you get 500 billionaire success stories to keep your mind securely anchored in total abundance. Here is the deeper truth about waiting. The immense wealth and opportunities you have been praying for are already circling you right now. The lucrative synchronicities that belong to this season are moving past you. They are waiting for your frequency to match theirs, and every day of suppression is another golden opportunity that slips away forever. Delaying means letting your massive inheritance remain completely invisible. The chosen one who restores their frequency today finally sees the windfalls. Do not look for this on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating there under similar names have absolutely zero binaural entrainment technology encoded. They are dangerous fakes meant to distract you. The elite billionaires who want this kept hidden have actively flooded streaming platforms with silent, diluted imitations. Protect your mind by accessing only the verified link in the description and the pinned comment below. You must guard your energy against these cheap and useless placebo tracks. This comes with the billionaire ironclad promise. The universe requires absolutely no financial risk from you. If you do not experience a physical and undeniable increase in your wealth and luck, then every penny is returned. It is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The link to your abundance is securely placed in the description and in the pinned comment below. Click the link and equip your mind today, because the choice to remain average has been permanently removed. The tool does not replace your powerful ambition or your massive purpose. It simply repairs your biological receiver so the wealth you visualize can finally materialize. Abundance is your natural birthright, and the universe requires no desperate transaction for you to deserve it. What the researchers built is just one powerful accelerator. Whether you choose that path or not, we must return to your mental preparation. Let us go deeper into readying your mind for the opportunities ahead. A restored frequency can open the heavy door to abundance, but your sovereign mindset must still walk bravely through it. Those are 2 different things, and they are both incredibly true. If your intuition confirms that the frequency tool described earlier is your missing key, then the path remains open in the description below. That is the final time I will mention it. What remains now belongs entirely to the permanent sealing of your new mindset. The ultimate transformation is here. The world is waiting not for a perfect version of you, but for a disciplined thinker. It waits for a conscious creator who has chosen to rise above the mental noise. That man is alive inside of you. And it is time to command his absolute awakening. So what will your final legacy be? Will you be remembered as the exhausted drifter who allowed doubt to define him? Or will you be the magnetic force who looked fear in the face and claimed his absolute throne? Seal your decision right now. Write your definite purpose in the comments below. Let those bold words be the iron contract you sign with your own destiny. Subscribe to this channel if this sacred tradition is yours. Return to this message every single night until your reality fully bends to your disciplined will. Stand up and claim your eternal kingdom today. You are the unstoppable architect of your reality, and the world has absolutely no choice but to obey your command.